The first thing that Loraine and I would like to talk to you about is posture and poise, which together produce a very good stance. Now, it is very important, first of all, to understand how to have a good posture. And secondly, to understand the difference between posture and poise. Many people, in general, feel that stretching the body produces good posture. If you think about it, muscles can only shorten. They cannot stretch. They stretch as a result. Very simple example, which I would like you to try at home, is if you straighten your arm, and you now try to close your arm, the muscle which closes your arm and which therefore produces a powerful movement is the front muscle of your arm. So this muscle shortens. The result is that the muscle under your arm will stretch. If I now want to open my arm, I must shorten the muscle under it so that the muscle on top will stretch. There is no way I can close my arm by thinking of stretching the muscle which is under my arm. So action is a shortening of a muscle. Result is a stretching of a muscle. So one more time, if we all try, I can close my arm by shortening the front of my arm and feel a stretch. Or I can shorten the underneath of my arm and feel a stretch on the upper part. Now, this is how our body works. My body, Lorraine's body, your body. Many times, when we dance, we're aware of stretching. So we take posture and we just stretch our body. This causes us to lose all the freedom and the harmony of body. And therefore, we are not able anymore to dance on our own and make it even harder to dance with a partner. So, if we apply the same principle and therefore understand which muscle shorten so to produce a stretch, we must now work out which muscle shorten to produce a long spine. Now, if I want to feel a stretch on the front, which is correct, we want to feel a stretch through the front. We want to feel that we are growing through the front. To do so, we must shorten our back muscles. Now, you may be confused now because you know that you must keep always a long back, and that is correct. We're talking about two different things. So the spine will stay long. In fact, the spine will become longer if we actually use the back muscles to lengthen our spine. So when Loraine or myself take position, we are always very aware of a shortening of our back muscles. So at this moment, from normal position, this is my natural position, from here, by shortening my back muscles, I feel a lengthening of the front of my body, and I feel my spine now is in the correct position. But I have not lost the freedom in my body. So the freedom of rotation, the freedom of sway is still there. And my weight balance is not raised, so it's not gone up, which is something which happens as soon as I focus my thought on stretching. So let's see it on Lorraine's body, which first of all has a more pretty body than me, and secondly, there's more body showing. So if we now take the position, if we visualize, okay, that this muscle and this muscle are going to shorten. So it's not going to be the spine. So we don't want the spine to shorten. In fact, the feeling of the spine is that the spine will actually move forward. So the spine will actually move forward as a result of these muscles shortening and connecting. As you can see, if Loraine relaxes, this is, of course, Loraine already has a good posture. Now, the shortening of the muscles will lengthen Loraine's front. If Loraine wants to position her head, she will shorten this area of her back, which will now position her head. And this side will also shorten, so that now the shape will increase. This is very different, very, very different from a stretch through the front. This is affecting Loraine's posture. As you can see, Loraine has a short back. So we want short back muscles to produce a long back spine. So we want the shortening to produce a big shape. So the feeling will be of a stretch. Thank you, darling. The feeling will be of a stretch, of course. But the action is of a contraction. Now, when we lift our arms as men and as lady, the muscle which lifts the arm is, of course, the muscle which is on top of the shoulder. So, of course, this muscle. Now, this muscle will lift the arm. Now, from here, if this is the muscle which controls my arm, this will continue to tighten. And the more I dance, the more the feeling will be of producing tension on the neck, tension on the shoulders, and the shoulders will rise, and the position will actually decrease. If we want to support our arms in the correct way, we must then discover two other muscles, or two groups of muscles, which we have in our body. One is on the front, and goes normally from the center of the body to the shoulder, and the other one is on the back. Same thing, from center to shoulder. So once I have lifted my arm in position by shortening this muscle, now the squeezing of front and back muscles. So if Loraine takes the position as man, these muscles are now shortening to lift the arms. Now from here, a shortening from this area, so front and back of the lady, a squeezing of these two muscles will now lengthen the arm. So now, yes, this muscle is still working, but a minimum amount. The priority is now on these two muscles which are squeezing to produce a stretch. And the same thing on the other side, of course, they are squeezing to produce a stretch. Okay, thank you. Now, if I do this as man, and if I lift my arm in position, just by actually using these two muscles, you will see this position, which is okay. But there is no powerful look about it. If Loraine enters this position, she won't be happy about it, because it feels very small. And through the dance, I would feel that my arms and my shoulders are getting very tired, because, once again, I'm only using one group of muscles. Now, what I want is lifting the arms in exactly the same way, but now squeeze those four muscles to produce a much bigger frame. So I feel a very strong squeeze on front, squeeze on the back to produce a very wide frame. And I feel the same on the other arm. So now, as you can see, my frame is much bigger, but the freedom in the body is still there. And the freedom in my forearm is still there. But if Loraine pushes my arm, the arm will not change. But the support is given by these two muscles, back and front. So the understanding of the usage of the muscles and the understanding of which muscles must work and which muscles must stretch or relax is very important in every dance. If we now take position together, the same thing will occur. So very, very easy mistake that we all tend to make is to try and put the two front together. So the lady comes towards us, and we're putting the two bodies together. Now I have entered Lorraine's space. I have lost my posture. I have a short back. Loraine can be criticized for having a short back. The reason for that is that the first action which went to our minds was of, first of all, connecting, and secondly, of stretching the front of the body. So now we have lost the harmony. Now we cannot do it. So whatever information we may receive afterwards, it's pointless, because we are not going to be able to do it. So, if we go back, the first important thing is shortening of the back muscles. That will produce a lengthening of the front from both of us. Now I'm very aware of my space. I'm very aware of my power. I'm very aware of a long, big front as a result. Loraine is doing exactly the same. If Loraine now comes into me, again, I'm inviting Loraine. I am not pulling Loraine, but I am aware of this muscle and of my front and back muscles on my left side, actually squeezing to invite Loraine in position. So I am not pulling Loraine to me. I am not stopping down too early and asking now Loraine to continue, because now she will have to break into the frame to reach me. But once again, I'm aware of a squeeze. I'm aware of a shortening of the correct muscles, which will produce a stretch. Now the two bodies are together. Now we are balanced. We are in harmony. If we want a bigger shape from this position, we can do so, again, by shortening the back. So at this moment, Loraine will actually shorten diagonally to her center, and that will produce an increase into her head shape. If we now turn around so that you may be able to see it better, if we take position again, so long front due to a shortening of the back, Loraine comes in position. Okay. Now, if we want a big extension from the lady, also from me, I am now shortening my back, and this invites Loraine to extend further. But we are still very free and flexible. So it's still a very free position. The shoulders are still moving, they're still free. But the volume is not decreasing. If we do the not correct one, is man pushing, lady pushing. Now we cannot, especially the lady. Now Loraine is off balance. So there is no way she can now be flexible or manage to cope with our action. So if we do this one more time, we have shortening of the back, long front. Now I'm using the shortening of this muscle, the shortening of front and back to produce a stretch, which invites Loraine. Now I am shortening the back to produce a shape for Loraine. As you can see, Loraine's shape is long, but is curved and is shaped. So Loraine is on her feet, I am on my feet, but there is a shape. Okay. This is all, I think this is enough information for you to practice, to try with regards to posture. So anytime you're trying to take a position, anytime you're trying to lift the arm or rotate your head, try and feel which muscle shorten to produce that. So if I want to turn my head to the left, I will shorten my muscles on the left side to rotate my head. You will see it even better from Loraine. So if Loraine does that, she will shorten her left side muscles to rotate. This is very different, ladies and gentlemen, to only rotate the head, or to try and stretch the head, which now actually throws the weight on the opposite side. Now, we said earlier there is a difference between posture and poise. As I believe you just understood, posture is a muscle-related action. Muscles, control of muscles, shortening of muscles produces good posture. Poise is the angle of the posture in relationship to the floor. It's the angle of the posture in relationship to the floor. So if this is the floor, and I have achieved very good posture, now the angle of that posture is what we call poise. So when we dance, we are going to look straight. Posture-wise, we are going to be straight. Poise-wise, we are not going to be vertical. Why? Very simple. Because we have to fit two bodies together. So if I am standing with my perfect posture, perfectly vertical, and perfectly vertical to floor, so my poise is at 0, and now Loraine comes in position, she's not going to be able to fit. We are not fitting. Okay, we look okay, but we are not actually fitting with each other. And if you see it from square on, you will see that I will look as if I'm slightly to the right. I will look slightly as if I am in Loraine's space. So what do I have to do now? Well, I'm not going to change my posture. So I'm not going to change my posture because now we go through the same problems which we just discussed. Now I'm out of position, my balance is wrong, and so on. But I'm going to change my poise. So from vertical body, I can change my poise, the pitch of weight. So I can be further forward, or I can be further back, or further to the right, or further to the left. But it's all related to actually the change of angle to floor. And it's related to body weight. So we can say that posture is related to a muscle understanding, a muscle shortening, which produces good posture. Poise is related to body weight. So which angle and in which position do I have my body weight? So if we take position correctly, what you will see, I will look straight because, of course, I have good posture, but I will be on my side. And at this moment, if Loraine moves out of the position, you can see that now my pitch is likely to the left. This will be vertical. So there's a slight feel of a leftward poise. Now, this is not always in the same position. Depending which step we are dancing, depending the relationship between man and lady. Is your partnership the same height? Is the lady shorter than you? Is the lady taller than you? That will modify the perfect poise, which will fit your couple. So the posture is the same for everybody. My posture, my perfect posture, and your perfect posture, or Loraine's perfect posture, is the same. We achieve that by shortening the back muscles, by understanding the usage of the body. The poise, the perfect poise, varies depending from the construction of the couple and depending from what step we are dancing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think you have enough information and enough understanding of posture and poise. Practice this, feel it in your body, understand it, and put it through a feel. And now, Loraine and I would like to continue by presenting you a few steps which we have prepared for you.